Hi, you all. It's Elizabeth at Sparkle Stories. This is our week to talk about how the stories you tell yourself are powerful. And I have an experience for you that I want to share because I think it's um, it's illustrative of this very concept. So yesterday I was walking in the woods really early in the morning, and did a sunrise hike because I was out of sorts. And right now in my life, there are lots of things I'm tracking. There's lots of things I'm working on. So I'm having a hard time like settling. There's a lot going on in the world too. I do feel like there's a ton of destabilized energy. So I'm kind of that. And so I was like, I got to go to the woods. I got to get in some woods. I got to help. I need some help with grounding. So I was in the woods sort of fighting myself. I was doing this and I was like, come on, please, woods, please, God, help me to ground, help me to land. I was doing some of my exercises, feeling my feet, putting down roots and whatever I was doing, all my exercises. And then I'd go back into like, what should I tell the man this afternoon when I have and all of a sudden, and sometimes things like this happen to me where I'll just kind of, something will land in me. And what landed was, it's all a gift. It's all a gift. And so I was like, oh, it's all a gift. Okay, it's all a gift. And so then I decided to play with the question, what if everything's a gift? What if everything's a gift? And then I noticed that I was like, woof. And what appeared in front of me first was this beautiful budding tree, this sort of small tree with really delicate buds. And I found myself looking at those little buds being like, oh my gosh, look at you. You're such a gift. Spring is springing here in Texas. And then after that, it was a cardinal, like on a tree, just like right here. This cardinal was so low and he was singing his heart out. And I stopped and I watched him for quite a while. And I could almost feel his song in my body. And I was like, here's the next gift. Oh my God, that's such a gift. That's such a gift. And then I got into a mental exercise where I was like, okay, my coffee later, because I hadn't had my coffee. I was sort of waiting until later. And I don't drink a ton of coffee, but every once in a while I'll have one. And I was like, oh, that's going to be a gift. Not only the taste of the coffee, but the sort of woof that it gives me afterwards. It's a gift. And I was thinking about how the work, I was looking forward to the work with my Sparkle team because I have the best team ever now. And I should say we have the best Sparkle team ever. And I was like, oh, I get to interact with them today. And like, that's such a gift. And it just sort of spread out through my day. And I would forget it in the day. And then all of a sudden I'd be like, what if it's a gift? What if this is a gift? What if this is a gift? And how does this help me land in my body in my day right now? And so like, play with it with me. Play with it with me. What if everything's a gift? And now hold on, let's sidebar for just a second. So you can argue with me. You can get into a mental like challenge. And what do you mean this war we're in right now is a gift? Or like my best friend's illness is a gift? Or like the fact that these friends lost their dog is a gift, or whatever it is, you can argue with me. And, I'm not going to go into big concepts like that. There are some people who have had super big health crises that have said that's the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm not going to take on the big ones right now. And you can listen to thinkers like Peter Crone or whatever if you want to take that on. We're not going to take that on. We're going to stay with small things, okay? And we're going to say, what if everything's a gift? So if you stop right now in your moment and you're like, what's the gift? What's the gift? If everything's a gift, what's the gift? And so what I would notice is there's a little rose bush right at the end of my table here. I'm sitting at this little dining room table in this little condo that I'm renting. And it's blooming really fully in the light here. It loves being here. I brought it home from the grocery store and it's just like, and if I tap into its bloomingness, it's a super gift. Or, we're getting a lot of sunshine and wind right now. And if I let myself sort of drop into the sense experience of all that sun and wind, and the sort of spring, like, kind of like, it's not tumultuous, but it's definitely movement, spring energy, like that is a gift. And actually in this moment, I'm looking at the screen through clear glasses because I found one last glasses wipe in my bag when I thought I was out. So I don't have smudgy glasses today because I found one. I haven't gone and gotten myself more glasses cleaner. So that's a gift, right? And I can see. So like, what's the gift? Like, what's the gift? What do you notice when you stand across from another person and say, this person's a gift? It's all a gift. What if it's all a gift? Yeah. So that's a thought you can work with today. And the whole idea of the thoughts you think are powerful, the stories you tell yourself are powerful. That one was really powerful for me, and I hope it helps you.